All right, my fellow women in your 40s, this one is for you. Hi, I'm Jessica Valant, a physical therapist and Pilates teacher, and I want to bring science-based knowledge, empathy, courage, support, love, and hopefully some fun to the journeys we have with our bodies. There is hope and strength in your body, and my goal is to help you find it. Hi, welcome back to Meet Your Body. I, as always, am so happy to be talking with you. I am really looking forward to this episode. I'm sitting here with just a little bit of coffee left in my mug, and it's actually cold at this point. I use the Ember Mug. Okay, I'm going to take a moment and tell you about this. This is something that I did not have any idea that I needed until it came into my life. And even when my husband was talking about it, I thought, I don't need that. Like, that's just extra. That is extra that I don't need. I am fine with just my mug, and I'll just warm up my coffee a gazillion times. And as it gets cold, I'll just warm it back up in the microwave. And then I moved from that to like a travel mug. I would use a travel mug in the morning to keep it warm and thought it was fine. And then I realized, I was like, oh, but the experience of using a mug is really nice. So anyway, this was years ago. And the Ember, we use the Ember. That's the brand. I will actually put the link below. This is not an ad or anything for them. I just have to tell you about how much we love this mug. So I will put the link below if you want to check it out. But it came in, I think we got one as a gift. I'm almost positive we got one as a gift. And then my husband bought me one as a gift. So anyway, we each have one. And it is a rechargeable mug that keeps your coffee warm. But when I just said my coffee's cold, it's because the battery lasts for maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours, and that's how long my coffee's been sitting in my mug. So it is like it's lost its charge at this point. But so they're real mugs, and you just keep them on their chargers overnight, and then you pour your coffee or hot tea or hot chocolate or whatever you want in them in the morning, and it keeps it warm for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it really is a game changer. I love it so much. It works so well. It is a little bit of an investment, but ours have lasted forever. And I had one that actually did start to die, and we reached out to the company and they replaced it. They were great to work with. So anyway, I'll put the link below, but it is an absolute, one of those things that just brings me joy. It just brings us joy in this house. Those little things of joy in the morning that my coffee is going to be warm sitting on my desk. And I don't have to get up and rewarm it. So that is what I'm doing right now, is finishing this coffee as it still has a little warmth in it, but the battery is dead. And today we're talking about motivation. Motivation for working out specifically, like for exercise, for movement. I tend to say movement because I just feel like it isn't always just working out or exercise. It's movement, right? Like having a regular movement practice. Motivation for that. And this comes from the fact that on October 1st, 2024, so if you're listening to this in real time, on October 1st, 2024, we're starting a 4-week challenge in my Unlimited community. We do challenges a few times a year, and this next one is called Motivate. It is all about how to find motivation with movement and having a regular movement practice and exercising and working out. And I get that question a lot. How do I get motivated? I'm not motivated. And I have so many thoughts around it. And so we're doing a whole 4-week challenge, like with 4 weeks of workouts and live sessions with me. And we'll do journal prompts because that's a big one. And all of these things around feeling motivated. So I have a lot of thoughts around that. So that was already in my head, because that starts in a week. And then I was also talking to my business mentor and a dear friend of mine who I just have so much respect for. And she's in her early 40s. And to give you context, in case you're not sure, I'm 47. I'm 46. I'm about to turn 47. It's already in my head. I'm 46, actually. So we were talking about just women in our 40s and how it's kind of this middle ground. Like there aren't a lot of things out there catering to us and some of our specific needs. And it kind of hit me that, you know what? I feel like that's true. And I'm not going to say that, we just don't have enough resources out there. That's not what I feel. I think what I feel is that there are some things that we have experienced, are experiencing this unique place in time like and I would say 40s into early and mid 50s as well. That just takes some nuance, just like women in their 50s and 60s need nuance and some respect for the life experiences you've had. Same into your 70s and 80s. And I very much feel that, and beyond. That just this general idea, and we'll take this category of working out and motivation, seeing these things in marketing and social media, this idea of you just need to, no excuses, no pain, no gain, work harder, find motivation. That doesn't do anything for me now as a woman in my 40s. And again, same, I'm sure 50s and beyond. I'm just coming at this from my current life experience, which is a woman being a 46-year-old woman. So I wanted to talk today about motivation for women in their 40s. And again, this could definitely apply to people across an age spectrum. But this is the category I'm kind of talking about today, is those of us in our 40s finding motivation for exercise and working out, and how that would be a little bit different than that typical marketing message that we hear. So today we're going to dive in and talk about finding exercise and movement motivation as a woman in our 40s. So let's talk first about what does make it different. Like, why is it different, possibly, to find that motivation, or why would it be different where we are, being in our 40s, that category I'm going to talk about today? So one, to me, is it's just a different stage of life. I mean, that sounds kind of obvious, but it is. It's a very different stage of life, being in our 40s than being in our 20s, and even being in our 30s when I look back. So a lot of motivation, exercise motivation, especially for women in their 20s, are going to be kind of event-based, like losing weight, trying to fit into a dress for a wedding, for your own wedding, for an event, right? Something like that. Or even young 20s trying to, I'm saying a lot of this in air quotes, by the way, because I could do a whole podcast around discouraging marketing in fitness, okay? So I don't like any of these terms. I'm just saying it is a part of life in your 20s. I don't like it, but it is. This idea that you need to look a certain way, or you want to look a certain way. So aesthetics, I feel like, are a big motivator when we are in our 20s. And so that is one thing. Or also maybe a big motivator in your 20s, or when you're a little younger coming out of college, is still participating in sports that you love and activities. So that's a really big one. People are still on intramural teams and wanting to be, an athlete at a high caliber, or trying to find new goals for being an athlete, those kind of things. So I think aesthetics, I think still following kind of that, college vibe a little bit, and the energy of it, being out with friends, doing sports, all of that. Events, like I said, I think that's a big one that I see. And then moving into getting healthy for pregnancy. So that's a really great motivator. That's a great motivator. For those of us in our 40s, that's not happening anymore. So that's not a part of it. So again, different stages of life. Also, many of us in our 40s now are in the middle of careers. We have built our career to us, if we work, we have built our career to a certain point. Like, many women are in leadership roles at this point in your career or in your family. Like I'm saying, managing a family, absolutely, that's a full-time job right there too. And so that's a different stage of life, which means our workouts are going to look much different because, I'll say honestly, in my 20s, let's see, in my early 20s, I was in grad school, different schedule. And then even in college and sometime in there, I was waiting tables. My schedule was totally different. Like I had the days wide open, and then my nights were completely taken up because I was waiting tables. So different stage of life, right? Different schedules, different everything, different expectations, all of that, okay? So different stage of life is a big reason why it's different. Another is we have different bodies. Like we just do in our 40s, just like, yes, we do in every decade. But I'm telling you, do you know what happens in your 40s typically for the majority of us? Perimenopause. Perimenopause starts late 30s, early to mid 40s. You are in the thick of it. And we are talking just what that means to me, hormone changes. Like your hormones are all over the place. They call it the second puberty, all right? Second puberty. Perimenopause is the second puberty. And if you look back, or if you are around teenagers to remember, or early teens, very early teens, to remember what that time was like it is all over the place because your hormones really are going wacko. I mean, they're just up and down and up and down. It isn't just a drop. It really isn't. It isn't just a linear drop. It is dropping and then spiking and then dropping for 2 months and then spiking for 2 months. So it's just so unpredictable, but there are changes that have to be acknowledged. We have different bodies with hormones and perimenopause. Then also at this age, many of us have experienced things such as hysterectomies, or we've had babies, or now we have a really hard time sleeping, or we have pelvic floor dysfunction. And again, I'm not saying any of that bad. Aging is a gift. I 100% believe that. It's just truth to look at it honestly, that we have different bodies. We also have bodies that it is becoming harder to build muscle mass compared to losing it, meaning at this age, we lose it faster than we did when we were young, and it is harder to build it than it was when we were younger. So all of that comes into play in this time in our life. Also, we have different goals. And that goes back to kind of that different stage of life. But maybe in your 20s, your goal really was, okay, I just want to fit into that dress for that event or something. It was maybe more aesthetic based, or maybe it was more, specific goal running based, or a PR or anything like that. Or simply losing weight. Maybe you just really became motivated to want to lose some weight. I will say for me now, like in this stage of life, my goals are very much health focused. Like very much. I want to stay independent. I want to stay healthy. I want to stay strong. I want to be around for my kids. I want to be able to get up and down off the floor. I mean, we spent years taking care of my mother-in-law who had Alzheimer's, and I am telling you that is a huge motivator for me. One, to help prevent that, what she went through, but also realizing she would have given anything to have this healthy body that I have. I want to honor that. And I know any of you who are in your probably, late 60s, 70s, 80s listening to me right now, because I know many of you have told me this, and I want to honor that you say, gosh, I would take that 40-year-old body in a heartbeat. I honor that too. I want to honor the fact that I have this ability still, and I want to help prevent any disease that I can. I believe me, I know they're not all preventable. I am the poster child for the fact that sometimes just stuff happens. Sometimes shit happens. It just does. But I'm going to do everything in my power to help stay independent and joyful and feeling good in this body that I have been given. And so your goals change. My goals have changed for sure. And then honestly, this is the thought that comes up. One other thing that makes it different. We've seen some things at this point. Like, we've seen some stuff. We've gone through some stuff. We've gone through life stuff more than you did in your 20s and your 30s. And that applies to who you are now, right? And so you want to honor that too. That applies to who you are, what you maybe believe, what you feel about yourself, your family, the people around you. All of that comes into play. So all of that really does have an effect on how and why motivation might be different in this stage of life. And instead of trying to push ourselves and force ourselves into this paradigm that really, again, like I said, is very much focused on younger generations, this idea of what I said earlier, no pain, no gain, no excuses, bikini body, lose the side waist, blast the fat, blast the calories. Like, I don't know about you, but those words don't help me. Those words don't motivate me. Like best case scenario, they just slide right off of me, and I think, oh, that's like a foreign language. I don't respond to that. Worst case scenario, they trigger just horrible narratives that I told myself when I was in my young 20s and late teens about what a body should look like. So those words don't help me in this life, in this body that I have now as a 46-year-old at all anymore. But we really don't have this other paradigm for motivation for older women. And so instead, it's like we try to force ourselves into that place. It's like pushing a circle into a square hole. And we just keep pushing our head against the wall, thinking, I just need to do more of that and more of that, when it doesn't take into account where we are now, who we are now, what we respond to, what's important to us, and just the lives we have. And so I think it's really important to, again, recognize that and know that it's okay to have different motivating factors. And it actually is going to make you having a consistent movement routine so much more enjoyable and so much more realistic and so much more doable if you can just acknowledge, okay, I am in a different phase of life. Those things don't turn it on for me. Those things don't really get to me. But let's focus on what does, and let's move forward from here. So here are some of my recommendations on how we are going to feel motivated in our 40s. And before we jump into that, I want to tell you again about my 4-week Motivate Challenge happening in Unlimited starting October 1st, 2024. It is all about encouraging you, supporting you, empowering you to find that inherent motivation so that you can enjoy moving your body. And if you are not listening to this in real time and you think, oh shoot, I missed it, we hold 4-week challenges in Unlimited throughout the year. They're always free for Unlimited members. So you can join for a month and you can just check it out for that challenge. And if you decide you love Unlimited, you can stick around. I would love to have you. But if nothing else, pop on over, check out that challenge, join us. I think you'll feel so good at the end of it. I'll have the link below to sign up. And again, we start October 1st, 2024 with Motivate. Okay, so let's jump into some ways to help you feel motivated specifically in your 40s. One is to find your why. And I know that sounds cliche, but I mean, it's cliche because it works, because it's so important. It is something you will grab onto and for dear life, you hold on to that when you don't want to move your body, when you get discouraged, when life throws you a curveball. You're going to remember your why. And the important thing is it's probably different than it was 20 years ago, 15, 10, 5, even last year. So it's important to do it now for where you are right now. And make your why for you, not for anyone else, not for your friends, not for your family, not for that marketing message on Instagram, not for your neighbors down the street. You are making your why for you. So for me personally, I think I shared about my mother-in-law. That's a big why for me. I remember that. I remember that I want to be independent and I want to be strong, and that every time I work out, I am putting that deposit into my health bank account. I don't want to miss any time in my ability to do that. And so that is a big part of my why. Another big part of my why is, honestly, I think about how I'm going to feel at the end of the day. That's always been a big one for me, is anytime during the day I think, I don't have time, I don't want to make this happen today. I think, how am I going to feel going to sleep tonight? How am I going to feel then? And many times I work out for that version of me, that me from tonight, knowing that I'm going to sleep better and I'm going to feel so much better if I moved my body that day. So those are some big whys for me. You want to find yours, but it's really important to find a why now, right now. And don't be ashamed for your why. We are all different. If your why really is aesthetics, that's okay. If you're like, I just want to look better, by all means, grab hold of that why. Just make sure it's something that is powerful enough for you, that it's motivating and will keep you moving in an encouraging way. A lot of times those aesthetic goals stem from us feeling ashamed about ourselves, not feeling good enough about ourselves, and that's not going to motivate you to move your body. I want you to feel motivated in a positive way. I want you to find something that you can see the results of, meaning, okay, I do feel stronger. Walking up and down the stairs is easier. Oh my gosh, I am able to walk farther. I got outside in the sun with my friend, and look, I was able to do this plank for the first time in a year. Those are the things I want you to get excited about. And so that is my encouragement to you, that whatever you do choose, make sure it's something that makes you feel encouraged, that makes you feel positive, that makes you feel proud of yourself. The next really important piece of feeling motivated at this point in our lives is not looking back and comparing ourselves to previous versions of ourselves. Don't look back to yourself when you were 20, when you were 25, 30, 35. Don't look back and compare yourself to that, because it's just different. Like, we can't be that person again. And I'll tell you what, I was just talking to someone the other day about this. I might not look the same, but I'm stronger. Do you know, if I was in any kind of physical competition with my 22-year-old self, I would beat her down. I can lift more weight. I am stronger. I am more confident. I can run farther. I've pushed 2 babies out of my body, for goodness sake. Like, I am so much stronger than that girl was. But no, I don't look the same. I don't have that flat belly that she had. Are you kidding? I've had 5 surgeries and 2 babies since then. Like, what am I thinking? And yet we compare ourselves to that version, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. We are meant to change, okay? Our bodies are meant to change. That's part of life. They are not meant to stay the same. So don't compare yourself to who you were however many years ago. Don't try to be that again. Look forward. Do not look back when it comes to motivation. Be who you are now and embrace that. And along with that, meet your body where it is now. Meet your body right where it is now. And you might be shaking your head saying, I don't want to. I don't want to meet this body where it is because either 1, I don't like it, or 2, I don't understand it, or 3, I don't know what is happening and I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, right there with you. I posted something on Instagram the other day at like tongue in cheek, but absolutely true as well. Like, I've had these stomach pains recently, and I don't know, they could be perimenopause, they could be hormones, it could be my endometriosis, it could be scar tissue, it could be anxiety, it could be loss of sleep, could be that I'm hungry, could be indigestion. Like, I don't know. I don't know right now. In this body, it could be any or all of those things. So that's true. So I'm going to acknowledge that, which means I'm meeting this body where it is now. I've had some inflammation flare-ups. It's more finicky right now. I can't track my cycle. I know it's still here on and off month by month, but I'd have a hard time tracking it. So I meet it where it is that day. I have a general plan for the week. I follow the unlimited workout calendar, which means I'm lifting for myself pretty heavy weights, or I'm trying. Let me clarify. It's not pretty heavy weights for the general population. It is for me. I'm trying to work my way back from surgery and things. So I'm lifting weights 2 a week at least, sometimes 3. I'm doing Pilates a couple days a week. I'm doing my mobility. I'm doing my cardio. I'm following the calendar. And also each day I say, okay, body, where are we today? Like, maybe it's a day where I can lift a little bit heavier, or maybe it's a day I go back to my regular routine and not push it because I need to keep my nervous system calm. Or maybe I can tell my endo's flaring up. Or maybe I have a ton of energy. So I say, you know what, I'm going to roll with this and I'm going to go a little bit farther, and I'm going to be so proud of myself for doing it. Did I get any sleep last night? Oh gosh, okay, last night was not a night I slept, so my energy's kind of down. So today is going to be a Pilates workout down on the mat, because lifting weights overhead might not be the best for my pelvic floor and myself when I'm exhausted from not sleeping. So all of those things you have to take a minute to go through. And yeah, it feels like more work, and you might say, I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do it. But again, part of being motivated is actually checking in with yourself and having that advocacy, right? So you can advocate for yourself. You can believe in yourself. You are listening to yourself. You are empowered by your choices. That's all really, really important. So meet your body where it is right now. And that leads right to my next point, which is meet your life where it is right now. Like, not only your body, but where is your life? Are you taking care of elderly parents? Are you taking care of young kids? Are you doing both? Do you have kids that have just gone off to college and need you even more than ever? Have you changed jobs? Are you like absolutely picking up and changing everything? Have you moved? Are you driving kids around carpool all day so your schedule has suddenly changed? Are you not sleeping? Do you want time alone? Do you want more time with friends? Like, where are you? Where's your life right now? I mean, I'll tell you, my life has gotten even more chaotic this year as we have a middle schooler and things have just changed. Like, we never had all these activities after school, so I could easily come home and we would make dinner and we would play games. I mean, everything's different now. We're in the car in the afternoons. I'm eating different. My energy's different. I need more mobility because my hips actually don't love sitting in the car that much. I mean, and all that's just realistic. It doesn't change that I'm going to work out and move, but it does change a little bit what that might look like, right? I have to be a little more flexible in when and how I can get my workouts in. And one thing we actually did, like, we always went to the same gym, and I work out mostly at home. Again, following the unlimited workouts, I'm mostly working out at home or outside. I want to be outside walking and in the sun. But I have always been fairly motivated by having access to a gym so I can practice moves and check things out and try them and do some moves I can't do at home and do a little bit heavier. And so now, again, after my mastectomy, I'm just getting back into that and feeling really excited and motivated about the gym. But with moving and changing schools, just because our kids got older, so we naturally had to move to the next school. We went to middle school. Driving changed and our location changed. And so we had to take a couple days to find the gym that was closest and most available, and we made it work. And so now I have this gym that's close to my daughter's school. And so I have just decided that, like, 2 days a week, when I take them to school, I'm going to go right to the gym. That is totally different from my normal schedule. I like to work out right before lunch. I like to enter the day slowly. But I have changed. I'm meeting my life where it is now. And my life right now is in the car a lot, taking kids places. And so having that and making that choice that 2 days a week I'm going to be at that gym, and it worked out with our schedule and it worked out with location. And so that's what I'm doing. And I know it's just a small example, but that's a big one for me. And I feel like, okay, if nothing else that day, I have gotten a lift in and I've walked on the treadmill, and maybe nothing else gets done. Maybe I don't get my favorite outside walk that day because, again, I'm meeting life where it is, but I can make that happen. And so little things like that can really help. Or maybe you just set up a place in your house where that is your workout space. And so 2 days a week, you can get up early. You can't every day, but 2 days a week, it works out to get up early and get that workout in. Or I know many of you create a space at work, and on your lunch break, you do it in your office, or you're a teacher and you do it in your classroom. I mean, that's how you meet life where it is. I truly believe that you don't change your life to fit your workouts. You change your workouts to fit your life. Like, they should work in with your life, because, again, that teaches you how to be resilient. It teaches you how to be flexible, because life will change. It just does. Sometimes we travel. Sometimes we have someone who gets sick. Sometimes we get sick. Sometimes our life living situation changes or our schedule changes. It just changes consistent, right? Things always change. So if you've learned how to fit workouts into your life, then you're going to be set going forward. And that helps motivation. It's really important to make things as easy as possible when it comes to staying motivated. And I think when we think of it that way, of changing workouts to fit in our life, it's so much more motivating than if you think you have to change your life to fit your workouts. All right, the next tip to staying motivated in your 40s is getting your house in order. And by house, I mean your health and your body. And I've talked about this to Unlimited members before, but it can be hard to stay motivated and consistent. Let's say you have knee pain that has been aggravating you for a year and you haven't done anything about it, and you just keep trying to work out, but then you can't. Like, you keep trying to do squats and you can't. You keep trying to do lunges and you can't. And so you start and you stop and you start and you stop and you start and you stop. It is almost impossible to stay motivated and find that consistency if you just don't deal with that pain, right? So get your house in order. Do you need to get a mammogram? Do you need to get a colonoscopy? Do you need to see your dermatologist? I mean, no, that doesn't have anything to do with working out, but it's getting your house and your life, your fitness, your body in order. Do you have some pains that you need to talk to a physical therapist or an orthopedist about? Do you have constant urine leakage, which I'm raising my hand here, okay, I'm right there with you, that you need to have addressed so that you can have a more comfortable workout? Do you have neck pain when you do crunches? something like that, just as an example, that's not necessarily something you need to, I mean, maybe you do. I'm not saying you don't. But something like that, that's a common soreness with movement, maybe you don't have to go through a whole bunch of tests, but you just need to go find some of my tutorials on how to do a crunch without neck pain and work your way through it. So what I'm saying when I say get your house in order, and I mean get all the organization of your body done so that you can make those check marks, clear the list, start with a clean slate. And what I mean by that is you just take some time to, again, advocate for yourself, or to just do a little work to figure out, how can I do this without pain? Or maybe you sign up for a virtual consult with me, and just for an hour I can watch you move and say, oh, this is why that bridge is bothering you. We can get that under control. Or this is what I recommend. I think so many times we don't take the time to do that because we are so busy. We don't take the time to do that, and then that becomes a reason why we don't have a consistent movement routine. So then we end up feeling bad that we're not working out every day. So then we try because we feel bad, and we do it out of shame. So we try, but then that niggling pain or that niggling worry comes up again and pulls us back. So don't jump into that regular workout place until you have that house in order, until you have those little pains or those little worries dealt with. Do that now. Get your house in order now. And finally, my final piece of advice here with staying motivated at this age is find a community. Find a community who is in the same place in life as you are. I find, and this might be a whole other podcast episode too, so I won't get too much into it, but for me personally, this age is really interesting in that it can feel a little bit isolating, but not because I don't see people. I feel like I see people all the time. I mean, I am at soccer practices and flag football practices, and I'm at performances, and I'm at school drop-off, and I'm at school pickup. So I'm out in the world. But I am not standing around sharing experiences with the people I see. We are running back and forth, or just sharing our schedules, or who's going to drop off this kid when, or hey, did you see that team? This schedule is then, okay, I got to get to now go do this. Or I'm talking to a camera. I mean, I love my job, but it is sometimes just talking into thin air into a camera. So I see a lot of people, but it doesn't always feel like I have community every day. And what I'm saying to you is I have to work for it just like everyone else. So I have my family, like that's my number one community by far. And I have my family, and I'm so thankful for it. But what I've realized is motivating me, at least around my body at this time of life, is being around other women sharing the same experience. I mean, I remember probably a year and a half to 2 years ago now that I was with a bunch of mom friends, actually, we were all in our 40s, and the kids were playing, so we had time to actually, sit and talk. And someone said something about their eyes changing, and then someone said perimenopause, and I am not kidding. I whipped my head around and I said, "You too? You too? Please tell me more." Like, I left that conversation feeling so much better because I just knew I wasn't alone. I said, "Oh my gosh, other women are going through this too." Like, I thought I was the only one. And we can really feel that way. We can get ourselves into this isolating place. And so find community, whether it is friends, and I'm really working on friendships right now, like just meaning it is so easy to just have your head down and just go through life each day, just getting that done. I took time a few weeks ago to go on a hike with a good friend of mine. I took time to do dinner with 4 friends that we had kind of moved away from that community, so I drove back down and had dinner. I have a hike scheduled with a dear friend tomorrow. Like, those are important things, like just talking to other people, and then maybe finding a community. And I will sing from the mountaintops how amazing our unlimited community is, because in this private kind of group that we have, which is totally optional. I mean, you don't have to be there. Some people, that is not motivating for them, and I completely get it. You just want to get in and get out and do your workout. But for those of you, it might be motivating. This private community is so truly inspiring. And we are having conversations. And by we, I mean, I'm there, but this is mostly you all members having these amazing conversations and supporting each other. And you're talking about pelvic floor PT. And you're talking about what you do if you leak urine when you're running. And you talk about, oh my gosh, I woke up with this pain. That's brand new. Or you talk about, okay, I didn't sleep last night. Did anyone else sleep last night? And you talk about, last year I could only lift 5 pounds for this workout in Unlimited. And this year I'm lifting 12 pounds. Can you believe it? And you are supporting each other. And I will tell you, I feel inspired by that. Like, I feel encouraged. I see all the gains that can happen as we get older and all the beauty that can happen as we get older. I see that, and I am so lucky and grateful to see it. And that wouldn't happen if I wasn't in that Unlimited community. So I think it's truly important, and community can look different for all of us. It might just be one person. It doesn't have to be a lot of people, but I highly, highly recommend and encourage you to find someone or a group of people, whether it be people who have been in your life for a long time or brand new people, who can help you stay encouraged and supported during this time, so you know that you aren't alone. Okay, those were my tips. About staying motivated when we're in our 40s. And like I said, I know it can apply to many of us, no matter our age. And I just really, as a woman in my mid-40s, experiencing life, I just wanted to reach out to other ones of you. I want to create community. So this is me. This is me creating community for us. I hope it helps. I would love to see you in our Motivate Challenge if that sounds like something that would support you right now. And if not, totally fine. Find something in your life that will motivate you, that will keep you going. We got this. We're going to do it together. We're going to meet our bodies where they are right now. We might not understand them, but we can meet them there, right? That's the important thing. Meet your body where it is right now. Let go of the need to understand it at the moment and just meet her. Just turn off this podcast and say, hi, what can I do for you today? What can we do together today? And then we'll take one step at a time after that. All right, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today on Meet Your Body. If you have a moment, please consider rating and reviewing this podcast, as it helps us tremendously. For more resources and workouts, you can visit my website, jessicavalantpilates.com, or find me on YouTube or Instagram at Jessica Valant Pilates.